Assalamu alaikum students, and I welcome you to the digital classes of Green Valley Educational Institute. Dear students, in our previous lecture, we discussed about Herman Rorschach's ink blot test, and today we will discuss another important projective technique of personality assessment, which is known as Thematic Perception test. Thematic Perception test, more commonly known as TAT, was developed by Morgan and Murray in 1935 in the course of a research program at the Harvard Psychological Clinic. That is used to discover the unconscious and inherent tendencies. The assumption is that subjects are unaware that they are talking about themselves, and thereby the defenses are bypassed. Thematic Perception test, or TAT, is a projective nature intended to evaluate a person's pattern of thought, attitudes, observational capacity, and emotional responses to ambiguous test material. The test is less ambiguous than Rorschach ink blot test because it involves pictures of actual scenes rather than ink blots. The subject is shown a series of pictures and is asked to make up a story about each. In the case of that, the ambiguous materials consists of a set of cards that portray human figures in a variety of settings and situations. The test material consists of 31 cards which portray human beings in a variety of actual life situations. The test cards are divided into 3 sets. Each set contains 10 pictures. One set is meant for men, the other set is meant for women, and the third set is used with both of them. One blank card is also there. In this way, the maximum number of pictures used with any subject is 20. The test is usually administered in 2 sessions, using 10 pictures in each session. Some cards show male figures, some females, some both male and female, children, adults, etc. And some show no human figures at all. The TAT pictures depict various situations in which the individual normally moves. It is called a test of imagination. Although the cards were originally designed to be matched to the subject in terms of age and gender, any card may be used with any subject. Most fractionalists choose a set of approximately 10 cards, either using cards that they feel are generally useful or that they believe will encourage the subject's expression of emotional conflicts relevant to their specific history and situation. Now we will discuss the administration of the test. Before administering the test, the administrator of the test first establishes the rapport with the subject. The purpose of the test is not disclosure to the subject. The subject is asked to sit comfortably in a chair free from external distractions of any kind. After that, the subject is presented one card and the following instructions are given. This is a storytelling test. I am going to show you some pictures one at a time. The pictures are vague and indefinite. The subject is told clearly that this is a test of creative imagination and there is no right or wrong response. The subject has to make up a story for each of the pictures presented to him within a fixed time period. The next, you have to take care of the following aspects while knitting the story. The first is, what has led up to the event shown in the picture? You have to discuss it in detail. The next is, describe what is happening at the moment. What are the characters feeling and thinking that have led to this scene? In making up the stories, the subject unconsciously projects several characteristics of his own personality. There is no time to think. Therefore, the stories express his own life, natural desires, likes, dislikes, ambitions, emotions, sentiments, etc. Its special value resides in its power to explore the underlying hidden drives, complexes, conflicts of the personality. An expert examiner can know much about the personality of his subject by carefully interpreting the given responses. Generally, the pictures are given in two sessions. The number of pictures depend on age, sex, and type of problem. Tag pictures are administered individually as well as collectively to a group of subjects. There is no time limit. In fact, the subject is encouraged to continue for as long as 5 minutes on a picture. The behavior of the subject as regards his emotional expression, time and turning of the test card is recorded. After the administration of the test cards, an inquiry is made from the subject to determine the sources of the stories. Seeking association to places, names of person, dates, specific and unusual information. This is an important aspect of the process because it enables the examiner to clarify meaning of stories and to evaluate their significance more reliably. Scoring and interpretation of the tag pictures. Scoring and interpretation of tag stories may be made in one of several ways, but none of the technique is perfectly correct. General practice to approach the stories is with a background of general knowledge about the person, which helps to orient the investigator to relevant and helps him to rule out various obviously inappropriate hypotheses that otherwise waste his time. Second, the interpreter makes himself more and more thoroughly familiar with the stories by reading the stories several times. It will reveal the subject's basic problems, feelings, and emotions. It helps the investigator to notice divergences which are unusual, rare, or repetitive, or very intensely stated or accompanied by signs of strong emotions. Whatever the procedures the investigator follows, he uses the account generalizing from particulars. He translates the test responses as raw data into statements about aspects of personality. The two rational assumptions that guided Murray's initial work were that the attributes of the hero or main character in the story represent tendencies in the respondent's own personality, and second, the characteristics of hero's environment represent significant aspects of the respondent's own environment. The stories of that are scored and interpreted in the following manner. The first is the hero of the story. After identifying the hero of the story, it will help us to identify what type of personality the subject has. The heroes are to be characterized by the interpreter according to the point of view, feelings, and motives presented by the subject in the story. The second is theme of the story. What is the nature of the theme is used in making up the story? What is the length of the story? Whether theme is simple or complex in nature. Interaction of a hero's need with environmental forces, together with the successful or unsuccessful outcome for the hero, constitute a simple theme. Combination or sequences of these are called complex themes. The next is particular emphasis or omission. This aspect includes the omission, addition, distortion, attention to a particular details. The last component is outcome of the story. Outcome of the story includes whether the ending of the story is happy, unhappy, funny, etc. What was the subject's attitude towards authority and sex? So, this is all about the thematic apperception test of personality. Hope you understand it. Thank you. Have a nice day.